Israel changed its barcode from 729 to 871. The barcode changed due to the public's boycott of Israeli products. Please share and publish so that everyone...
Well, I believe religion itself should be censored completely from society. In the absence of religion, the quality of humanity will improve overnight.
Really?
100%.
This is the man who went down in history as the person who invented education. Just like most people think that civilization started in Europe. Well, it did not. Civilization started in Mesopotamia and the Great Kemet of Africa. Then later on, about 1200 BCE, was when civilization was reaching the Central America, the modern day Mexico. So there is no way a white man would have invented education when the first university in the world, the University of Timbuktu, was located in Africa. The University of Timbuktu was established by Mansa Musa, who was a Malian empire and the richest man in the world by that time. Subjects like philosophy, cultural studies, language studies, advanced African grammar were mandatory, while subjects like history, algebra, physics, medicine, chemistry, arithmetic, and astronomy from the Dogon people were totally optional. Students who did complete the course of study received clothes, blocks of salt, livestock, and money as gifts upon their graduation. Graduation ceremony consisted of wearing a white garment while riding a white horse towards the university.
Blackness is not a color, it's a frequency. It's a God frequency. They know that you are God, my brother, what they call God. They know that's who you are.
Whoever controls Jerusalem controls the flow of oil, drugs, the flow of gold, diamonds, all the valuable things in the world goes through Jerusalem. That's why it's the holy city. Money, all flowing of business, commerce goes through Jerusalem. That's the name of the tomb. And that's why Jerusalem is so important to the American people. Now, you've got to give the people a reason why Israel is so important. We know that Israel is very important because of strategically where it sits. But you've got to give the people who are going to go over there and lose their lives and give their sons in war, you've got to give them a reason. So we tell them that it's religious. It's the Lord's chosen people, the Lord's people. And the Lord himself has chosen Israel. And we give them a line. You'd be surprised what Americans love. They love that kind of stuff. And so we tell them, it's the Lord's will. And the Lord Jesus was there, and all the great prophets and all of that. And so we have to protect that little country, Israel, because it's the Lord's will. The largest single landmass on the earth from the northeast tip of Russia all the way across to central west Africa, then from England all the way across to India, and you crisscross the largest single landmass on the earth. That cross comes right through the city of Jerusalem. So much of knowledge, it's been hidden.
Everything is hidden in a plain sight. Words, signs, laws, it is in front of your eyes. If you want to understand it, to see how they enslaved us, this ebook will literally unveil for you everything you need to know. Age of belief is over. Age of knowing has begun.
The impact of colonization affected all our lives. It affected our spiritual lives. It affected our mentality. It affected our education system. It affected our agriculture. It affected our languages. It affected our economies. It was a total change of who we truly are.
Explore the world in your way. Create memories that you won't forget. You only live once, so don't waste your time. Please don't waste your time.
Conflict. In northern Mali, the country is divided de facto into two. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, 120 armed groups. Yet it is the busiest airspace in the continent of Africa. Minerals are being taken away to Europe and America. Central African Republic, the same. Libya, the same. Several months ago, I wrote to the chair of the African Union and all African heads of state and said, convene a meeting with only one agenda item. What can we do to save Africa from this slide? Only 4 slides. That is the state of the continent of Africa. We must deal with the basic things. We must solve conflict. We must change our governance. Because if we don't deal with the question of governance, we are going nowhere. Africa has become a continent where after every election there is conflict. Because the pursuit of power is a cutthroat competition where throats are actually cut. When the SMO was here and he consulted the oracles, he discovered that we have a problem in that direction. And that the sooner we resolve that, the safer we will be. Africa can rise and Africa will rise.
We'll be reasonable. Let's be reasonable. If you want to have a military base, for example, if you want to have a military base in one of our countries, well, okay, you have to accept a military base of ours in your country. If you want to police security in Africa or the Middle East or Asia, okay, let's make it reciprocal. And we'll send our security forces to Chicago. We'll send our security forces to San Francisco, to Detroit, and to New York. You see how ludicrous that sounds? When someone suggests doing to you what you do to everyone else every day, I mean, do you want to have the New York City subway patrolled by armed Senegalese forces to protect your civilians against your armed mass shooting terrorists that you have over there? Well, fair is fair. Should be like this. I mean, the truth is your cities are more dangerous than ours, but you have your troops all over our part of the world. How does that make any sense? Even though it's none of your business. Our security is none of your business. Just like your security is none of our business. But let's play it the way that you play it. You know, you occupied land inside of Syria the size of West Virginia. So what if we sent some of our military forces over to your country to occupy, say, New Mexico? New Mexico is one of the most violent states in America. So we'll send our troops over there, occupy New Mexico, and restore order for you. How does that sound? Does that sound reasonable? I mean, let's make these security agreements reciprocal. Because let's face it, your society is far more unstable than any of ours. It's more violent, it's more dangerous, it's more explosive and more implosive than any of our countries. I mean, the only reason our countries are even dangerous at all is because you're in them. So either you let us come over there if you're going to come over here, or else we just decide to leave each other alone.